Hi, my name is Ariadne, and I want to share with you my story about restriction, binging, fasting, and finding self-love in being who I am. Because you know what? I just caught myself dancing in front of the mirror in my underwear and just looking at myself and feeling, like nothing needs to change with you. You're okay. You're okay. You're beautiful. Beautiful woman. And it's been a long journey, and I feel like I'm still on the journey. But I feel like the more people who share about these things, the better. And we are all here to walk each other home in a society that is making money out of making women feel not okay in their bodies, so that we can stay small and that we can give them our money by buying stuff, and also keeping our energy small, because then if we focus on these things, then we cannot put our energy into our purpose. So I think, even though it's scary, it might feel scary to share my story, is definitely worth it if it can inspire or help anyone on their journey, on your journey to self-love and self-acceptance. And I have been struggling since I was a teenager with basically trying to love myself, and the way that I learned was to be skinny and to be pretty and to live up to a standard that I didn't make up. And I know now, looking back at the all photos of myself at 14, at 15, 16, 17, 20, 25, 30, and just seeing this beautiful girl, teenager woman, and not at all being able to see that at the time. And they say youth is wasted on the young. And I just feel like that's such a waste. It's such a waste not to see how beautiful we are. And as I said, I'm still so much on the journey. So this video is for myself as much as it is for anyone else. And I remember going on my first diet. And I had been dancing, training to become a professional dancer, so I was dancing about 6 hours every day and something like that, and all of a sudden that came to an end, and I probably gained a little bit of weight and then I decided to go on a diet, and I started to eat very little, and the weight came off very fast because obviously my metabolism was in perfect condition. I never ever dieted before, and so it just came off, and I was like, wow, it's this easy. And then it's just after eating so very little for a while, I just returned back to eating a lot. So I've been back and forth, and I see so many of my friends, and I see so many women around me doing the same, just going on these diets and then going back eating junk, and then hitting on themselves, swearing never to do that again, going back binging. And so I've been doing that all my life, and then in between throwing in like so much, ridiculously much exercise, which is just another way of restriction. And all of this just damaged the metabolism, and it is actually just mental. It is mental, that's what it is. And I went through some really serious health issues, which made me try all kinds of out there things to try to help myself. And in this, I started to eat really clean, and I've always been a vegetarian since I've been older, but it just, I decided to eat a plant-based diet, mostly raw fruit and vegetables, and I loved it. My body loved it. I was thriving, but I was living with some people who were experimenting with dry fasting, which basically means not eat or drink anything. And I could see that they were benefiting from it. It looked like they were benefiting from it, and I was in such a great. I just felt great, so I tried it too. And if you have, yeah. Anyways, I tried it and I felt amazing. I felt very connected to my inner source, my inner light, and I basically felt like I didn't. My feet were not touching ground. It was quite extraordinary, and I was sharing a lot about this on social media, and I got a lot of attention, and people were inspired. And that's also one reason why I want to share this, the whole story, because I think many people share when they're in that place, and then life happens, and then it's not as easy to share anymore. But I want to share it all. And so what happened was that my father passed away, and my digestive system was so extremely stressed out that I basically couldn't digest any food. And this was also because before this I had done a lot of dry fasting. So when you stop eating, the body doesn't want to digest food anymore. It takes time to start to be able to digest. So I was bloating a lot, and it was just a very uncomfortable time for me. So I was talking to someone, and he suggested doing a juice cleanse, and he told me about something called master fast. And he didn't necessarily um, he didn't suggest it, but he just told me about it. And I thought, okay, I'll read about it. And I read about it, and it kind of made sense. And I just thought, I'll try it. And I read so much on these forums, and so many people had so many benefits, but also so many people were binging out after doing the fast. And in these forums, they say 108 days is a very good number to reach. And I was drinking juices, and at least one day of the week I didn't eat or drink anything. Most of the days I didn't eat or drink anything, and then it was intermittent fasting, and I felt amazing. I had so many benefits, and yeah, I was so very happy about it, and I just felt my body started to come back again. So when I wanted to try to eat food again or fruit, I couldn't really do it in a normal way. I Instead of just eating a little bit, which is suggested, especially when you've been fasting a lot, it's kind of dangerous to eat too much. I couldn't stop myself. I just absolutely stuffed myself. And so I came to the conclusion that, because this was also very much in this big community of master fast, that people are food addicts. So I thought, I'm a food addict, that's what I am. I'm gonna stop, I'm gonna try to, I cannot handle food, because every time I try to eat even the tiniest bit of food, it just ends up it's like a food orgy. So I just decided not to really eat food. But every now and again I just started to eat something small, and it just always ended up an orgy, and I always felt really shitty about it. And this kept on for a few months, and it just got worse and worse and worse, and then it just yeah, I felt really bad about it. And then Christmas Day came, and there was this big buffet with all gorgeous food, and I thought, all right. I didn't even think. I couldn't stop myself. I just ate and ate and ate and ate and ate. And there are photos from this day, and on every photo I'm just stuffing my face. And from that day I just could not stop eat. There was no sense of having any kind of willpower. This is just beyond that. And I've learned from this amazing woman, Alice Olivia. She has a YouTube channel, and I cannot recommend her enough, that when we stop eating, it's like when we stop breathing. When we start breathing again and we like held our breath for a long time, we just need to catch up, catch up. And every time we try to keep our breath, we need to catch up a bit. And it's the same with the food. And some people can probably handle fasting very, very well. And then there's people like me who doesn't really can't. And I think that's so very important to know about these things, because no one really talks about it. Nowadays, everyone just talks about the benefits of fasting and intermittent fasting. And there are many things that people need to know. And in this master fast group, I just everyone was binging out, and what they were saying is like, you have not suffered enough yet. When you have suffered enough, you will not go back to eating like this. And I was listening to this girl who been through a lot of what I've been through, but she was coming from anorexia. And I learned that it was a decision that I made, that I don't ever want to do this to myself again. I mean, I went very extreme in the end with restriction, but all these years of just having periods of restricting my calories, and then being so disappointed with myself when I couldn't keep it up, and having no energy, and being cold, and having my metabolism lowered so much, and having my brain compromised because I didn't have enough fuel to my brain, and being so absorbed in this, I felt like I don't ever want to do this again. And even if that means that, because what happened was that I gained 14 kilos in about 10 days. And that's what happens when you have restricted, because your metabolism is nothing. And when you start eat again, your body is, most of that weight was basically water, because it's called water retention, and it's something the body does to try to protect itself. And bloating, because the body is not used to handle any kind of food. And so I just decided to take this on and not look back. And even though I have been tempted 1,000 times to go back to restriction and to work out hard and to not eat anything and just have this quick fix, I stuck with it, and it's now been 9 months. And today, when I was dancing in front of the mirror and just felt like I love myself the way I am, I think that I'm beautiful. It was such a big moment of celebration, and such a big, payoff of all the hard work that I put in. And a lot of the work has been with my mind and with my spirit, to recondition what I think is beauty, and what I'm worth, my self-worth. And by connecting deeply to this inner light, and knowing that my essence lies there, and also learning a lot about the industry, how it works, and how extremely fucked up it is, it's been helping me a lot, and I know that I have so much more work to do there. But it was a great moment of celebration, and I just felt like sharing it. And being where I've been and gone through this, I just feel like it's so worth it. So what happened was that I had month and month of eating so much of everything that I usually don't touch. Pizzas, pasta, creamy stuff, and dairy that I usually don't eat, and junk food, potato crisps, and I mean, I'm not talking one bag here, I'm talking 7 bags. And I talked to my mentor Alice, and she said, and I said, I'm so scared that I'm gonna be addicted to this. And she said, yeah, but I would recommend you to just go for it and never ever feel guilty of eating. And so I went with that, and it was just such a huge relief for my system to once in my lifetime just to be able to eat whatever, where I always had a restrictive streak in my mind since being a teenager, and just allowing myself. And so what happened was that I came to a point where I gained weight and I gained weight, and then I just stopped, and I could eat whatever, and I didn't gain weight anymore, and I was plateauing, and I was like a baby whale on the beaches of Copenhagen. It's just me and all the yogi beach bodies. It's like so funny. I didn't work out at all because it's so very important during the recovery to just rest the body to have the metabolism start working again. And so I was eating and resting and crying and working on my self-worth and having my beautiful friends support me, and so this was a very precious time, and I met someone in the way he just treated me, like yeah, basically being with someone who didn't care at all about any extra weight and just saw me as beautiful was also extremely helpful, and I'm so grateful for you, Charlie, for being there for me in that way. Helped a lot, and being able to share this with friends, and even if they couldn't understand completely, they were just there to support me in this. And yeah, it's been hard, but it's been so worth it. And now my body is, I don't really know, but it feels like it's slowly releasing, and I actually don't doubt that I will go down to my healthy set point naturally, and it might take me a year or two, and it might go quicker, but at this point I don't really care. I feel really vital. I have my energy back, my joints doesn't hurt anymore, my brain is back, and yeah, my hair was falling out like crazy. When I started to eat again, I think my hair was just like, oh my god, we're getting nutrition, we can let go so new healthy hair can come out again. So that was all happening. So my hair is getting healthy again, my skin is getting healthy again, and you know, more than anything, I just feel sane from all this bullshit that we've been taught about how we should be as women in this world. And I'm so happy. And this is how I feel today. And I don't know how I'm gonna feel tomorrow, but today I'm celebrating, and I want to remember this, and I want to share this, and I want you, if you are in a bad place right now with food and with body, I just want to let you know that it can be better. It can be so much better. You can be in a place where you can just enjoy food and never think that you should not have or should not have this or that, and still be in a place where you feel good in your body, feel really, really good in your body. And for me, I think everyone is different, but for me, that has been to have a plant-based diet. So after all of that, eating whatever and just keep eating whatever and keep allowing myself, I very naturally gravitated back to incorporate more and more fruit, more and more vegetable, eating more and more raw, and drinking juices. So now what I'm craving is to go up in the morning and go and have my pure celery juice, and then after that having my blueberry shake, and then after that having my beautiful organic fruit all day long, and then in the evening having a humongous salad, and then having like these non-GMO popcorns, not every night but quite often, and having then in between, I mean, if I want to have junk food, plant-based junk food, I do. If someone hands me fries, I'm gonna eat a fry, and if someone has, whatever. I'm not that strict. I'm not that extreme anymore. But I feel like I genuinely want the best for my body, and I know what food is vibrating the highest, and that's where I have my majority of food. And this has come about without me pushing or making myself or forcing. It just came about because I wanted it. I just felt like it. And yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful place to be at. And if anyone wants support in this, I have actually filled myself through all this whole process. And at some point, I'm probably going to share these videos during, and I'm still in the process. But if you want support in this, I can highly, highly recommend Alice Olivia, and I'm also happy to share whatever experience I have. And yeah, we don't need to live in this self-made hell of restriction, and we can be living our best dream life and be happy and healthy and radiant without all that. And that's what I wish for everyone. So bright blessings and big love, and thank you for listening. This is gonna be scary to share, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Okay, so thank you.